In this video, I'm going to get personal and share my experience in using balance transfer credit cards to extend my debt cycle. I'm going to be sharing you the tips as well as the drawbacks in terms of using this strategy to give yourself some ease or wiggle room in terms of getting rid of those debts that you have accumulated on your existing credit cards. Now, if you are looking for insights as to how to leverage your balance transfer credit cards in terms of your financial management or your overall financial situation, then this video is for you. Stay tuned to learn more about extending your debt cycle by using balance transfer cards, as well as at the end, I'm going to be giving you the credit card that I use personally to extend my debt cycle in terms of balance transfer. Now, let's go. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. The Next Level Life Hacks, where we take the next steps needed to grow towards our financial freedom and success. Now, thank you very much for clicking on this video when it came into your feed. I appreciate the persons that have made a comment, and I appreciate the growth in the subscribers. It really makes me feel good that the research and work that I'm doing is adding value to your life and to your financial situation. So thank you very much. Now, what is a balance transfer credit card? Because personally, I didn't know about this until maybe 1 or 2 years ago. I honestly kept on getting the offers in the mail and kept on ignoring them because, hey, I was maybe too comfortable in ignorance, or maybe I was too scared to take on another credit card, but I did not know exactly what a balance transfer card was. So here is what it is. A balance transfer credit card is basically a credit card that allows you to transfer outstanding balances that you have on other credit cards to that credit card. Now, what are the benefits of this? These credit cards oftentimes allows you to have a 0% interest rate for as long as up to 21 months. Now, immediately you can see the benefits in this arrangement, because if you have accumulated significant debt, not even significant debt, but if it is that you have accumulated some amount of debt and you're having challenges in repaying this debt, then you could give yourself some ease in terms of an extension in your debt cycle. Let's get this very clear though. It does not get rid of the debt. It only allows you an extra time for you to pay, and it allows you saving significantly where interest is concerned. Most of the time, we are only able to pay that minimum payment on the credit card. Therefore, it is attracting additional interest because the balance is increasing, because you are, one, not clearing the full amount that is needed to be paid, which is known as the statement balance. You're only paying a part of it, so the balance is there accumulating interest. Interest rates can be as much as 29%, I have seen on existing credit cards. So if you have a 0%, it's like an interest-free loan that you have gotten for up to 21 months that allows you to repay. But hey, if it is that you have bad financial habits throughout a period and you are not willing to change what that core situation or that core problem is, then that problem is going to be manifested even if you get this extension. So I strongly recommend that you fix what the core problem is, whether it is being your spending or strategic planning or just in general money management, that you fix that core problem while you get this extra time to pay off your debt. Agreed? Now, here are the steps that I advise in you going through this process, because as I said, we want to do it properly and we want to maximize our potential in this opportunity. So the first thing that we're going to do is to do our research, because yes, it does require some research, and you're not just going to grab the first offer that might come to you or the first offer that you research. Look at a group or multiple credit cards for one to see which one gives you the longest time in terms of repayment. You have some that will give you 12 months, 15, 18, right up to 21 months. So do your research because you want to get the longest time possible in terms of repayment. If, however, you know though that you're coming into some cash shortly and you do not want to have this burden extended for up to 21 months, then you can choose a shorter period than the 21-month period. But it is entirely up to you and what your cash flow is. The other thing that I would advise is to get one that has a $0 annual fee. You do not want to incur any additional expenses in terms of an annual fee for a credit card. So therefore, try to find one that has no annual fee. And there are some out there that you can find and take advantage of. Now, a couple websites that you can look to that can assist you in finding a right credit card could be NerdWallet and Bankrate. And I'm going to be placing the link to these websites in the description box below. So therefore, make use of it and start your research. Now that you have done the research and you have found the card that you would like to apply for, then you need to execute the balance transfer. But there are some things that you must bear in mind, so stay tuned. You must contact the new credit card provider, and of course there will be questions that you will have to answer. You will then have to outline to them the credit card that you would like the balance transferred from, giving them the credit card number, the exact amount as at the last statement or at the last balance that you know of, that they can accumulate them. Normally they will have a credit limit based on the offer that they are extending to you, and you need to choose wisely which credit card you would like the balances transferred from. I would recommend that you choose the balances from those credit cards that have the longest outstanding period and that have the highest interest rates being applied to those outstanding balances. Those are the ones that you want to get rid of first. Do not start with the lower balances, because those are the lower hanging fruits that you can possibly pay off yourself in the credit period, but you want to transfer the highest balances to utilize the credit limit that you are going to be offered by the new credit card company. Now, once you are approved for the new card, it normally takes like 3 to 5 business days, and you have to keep checking your previous credit cards to see when the balances have been transferred to your new credit card. My advice to you though is that do not miss any payments on your existing credit cards, because that is going to attract a late payment fee and possibly further interest charges to your outstanding balances. So until the approval is given and you get that balance transferred, continue to make even the minimum payment on the existing credit card. Now, once you have been approved for the new credit card and your balances have been transferred and you have confirmed that on both sides, that is the old credit card companies and the new credit card platform, and it is transferred, then you need to start putting some things in place. Remember, your previous attitude and habits are what got you into the problem into the first place, and you do not want to transfer this habit to this new card. So what I want you to do is to set up a strict payment plan for this new credit card. Pace yourself, of course, because now you have more time in which to make these payments and it is no longer accumulating an interest. However, you still have to be disciplined enough in terms of making the payments on time, whether it is twice a month or monthly. I would also recommend that you set up an auto payment from your savings account to go directly to the credit card that you have just been approved for. You may also have to do some budget adjustments, and remember, in previous videos I have advised that the most successful persons financially have established a written budget. So you therefore might need to adjust your budget so that you can start putting more to the credit card, because the worst thing or the last thing that you want is for you to expire in terms of the 0% interest period and you still have not repaid this debt, which means that you have not taken full advantage of the opportunity that you were given. Now, of course, with everything, there are challenges. And of course, these new companies will not just be allowing you to transfer over to them your balances. So what is the benefit to them? Of course, they want you as a new customer to them, because their hope is, one, is that you will falter on the payments, you will no longer be granted the 0% APR, or you will start accumulating interest on these amounts. So therefore, they will now be earning more from you. Or one of the things that they might be looking for as well is that you will eventually expand the products that you're interested in from them, not just a credit card, but to start taking out personal loans or to have a savings account with them. So they would have gained a new customer by allowing you these balance transfer credit cards. So what are the challenges that come along with a balance transfer credit card? One is that there are fees associated with this, because, hey, as I said before, they would not be doing this without some benefit to them. Now, balance transfer fees can range anywhere from 3 to 5%, which therefore means that you would be paying anywhere from $30 to $50 for every $1,000 that you transfer to this new card. Therefore, if you are transferring $5,000 to this new card, you could be paying anywhere from $150 to $250, if my math is correct, for that transfer. Yes, it comes at a cost, but hey, you need to do the math to see if you were paying the interest rate and the late payment fees on your existing cards compared to these lower balance transfer fees, if you would be having some savings, significant savings probably, especially if your balances are high from your existing credit cards. The other challenge is that you must have a good enough credit score to qualify for this new card, because of course these new financial institutions are taking you on as a debtor, and they want to make sure that, hey, you have some amount of credibility. Yes, you made some mistakes with your previous cards, but they still want to know that you are credit worthy enough to take on the responsibility of a consolidated loan amount. Now, if it is that you do not have a good credit score, remember I did a previous video that you can always go to. I'm going to be placing it right here so that you can look at the thumbnail and search for that video so you can fix your credit score and get it as high as possible. Now, on the point of your credit score, because you have opened up a new account, it's going to be relatively new, they might do a credit pull, then you are going to have a dip in your credit score. But hey, it is worth it, especially if you're getting that interest-free extension on your loans. And also, especially if you're not going to be making any major purchases like a house or a car, then it doesn't matter too much if your credit score takes a hit right now, because at least you're going to be getting this extension in your debt repayment, and you're going to be saving some money in terms of the interest that you would have been paying. So go ahead and do it, even though you're going to be having a hit to your credit score. Now, another challenge, and this is why I mentioned to you before that you must get disciplined in terms of your payments, set it on auto pay even, is that if you miss a deadline in terms of even making the minimum payment, then you could lose that 0% APR that you were granted, and then the credit card payments would be reverted to the regular APR, which is significantly higher than that 0% that you were initially granted. So therefore, you have to stay on top of your payments to make sure that you are making at least the minimum payment by the deadline that is on the statement. My other main advice here, my viewers and friends, is that you avoid new debt. Once you have had those balances transferred from those old cards to the new balance transfer credit cards, I would advise that you stop using those cards. Put them on pause or on hold so that you do not accumulate any more debt on them, so that you're going to be having multiple payments and get yourself into a worse off position. Some credit card company will allow you to transfer an average of $25,000 to these new cards. So can you imagine if you have that transfer of $25,000 and then you start accumulating other debts? Then you're going to be in a significant problem. Now, of course, I like to give you the full picture. So we're going to look at what are some alternatives to the balance transfers, because I like to, as I said, give you the full picture. It's a full lesson that you're getting right here. And I'm, of course, adding more value to the content of this video as well. So one of the alternatives is to stick to it in terms of paying off those cards by using the snowball effect. And the snowball effect is that you're going to take the lowest balance on a credit card. You're going to make as much payments to that as possible. Ignoring all the other cards, you're going to be only making the minimum payment on those cards and transfer all excess payments to this low balance credit card and complete and pay off that amount completely. Once you have gotten rid of that lower balance or that credit card outstanding amount, you're going to move to the next second highest credit card. And you're going to make the minimum payment on all of the other cards again and put all your excess money to that card. And slowly but surely, as you start to accumulate, you will start to have a much higher amount that is going monthly to each credit card so that you can complete their payments as quickly as possible. The next option that we're going to be looking at is to take out a personal loan, because personal loans have lower interest rate than your credit card loans. Say, for example, credit card will have up to a 29% APR. You could get a personal loan for, say, a 13 to 15%, maybe even lower depending on the economic climate that exists in your environment. Then you could get that personal loan and pay off the credit card, which is at the higher interest rate. Another strategy could be to liquidate your assets. And as I've mentioned before, when you are able to and you're liquid enough and you are in a better financial position, accumulate your assets, because there might become a time when you are in debt and you will need to liquidate these assets to pay off your debt, and then you can always restart. Persons restart all the time, even filing bankruptcy, and then once they have gotten themselves into a better financial position, then they restart and repurchase these assets. So if you have extra things lying around, some persons might even have the luxury of having an additional motor vehicle that they might only be driving on the weekends. Now, get rid of that. Use that amount that you have accumulated from that sale and put it towards the outstanding credit cards that you have, instead of going the balance transfer route, and clear yourself once and for all of that outstanding balance. And the last strategy is to Call the financial institution. If you have been a regular customer with this credit card company for years and you have found yourself in a position where you are not able to make the full payments, then contact the credit card company and you can request a lower interest rate on your credit card. If they have been seeing that you are making religious payments, you might have other products with them like a personal loan, a mortgage, savings account. They do not want your business being transferred somewhere else. Casually ease into the conversation as well that you were considering a balance transfer credit card with another financial institution that will get them moving, but you want to stay with them and you are therefore requesting a lower interest rate on the credit card. Or if they could give you a grace period, you never can tell what can be at the discretion of a loan officer or a credit card agent. So make that request, get the courage, make the request, and see what happens. Once you know that you have done your best, angels in heaven cannot do better. But you have eliminated all the options that you could have tried in terms of lowering your debt. Now, in conclusion, as a business person, you will more than likely find yourself in debt because, hey, certain business ventures did not work out the way that you wanted it to work out. And you might have personal expenses, unexpected emergencies that might come up that would have had you overextend yourself and found yourself in extended debt with your credit cards. It happens. It's natural. Don't beat yourself up. Just look at the options that exist. Bear in mind, though, the things that I mentioned above. One, do your research to make sure you are getting the best offer on these balance transfer credit cards. Get up to the 21 month if you can get. Before you do this, if you know your credit score is low, watch my video and improve your credit score that you will get a better offer from these companies. It will be worth it in the long run once you get and maintain a better credit score. Also, the challenges will be there that you will have an application fee or what is known as a balance transfer fee. So expect that the 3 to 5%. If you are lucky enough, you might find a company that gives a zero balance transfer fee, and that would even be better. Now, once you have that, as I mentioned, get the discipline in place because we have to stop making these mistakes, me included, because I've made too many mistakes, or should I say we have made too many learning situations that we now learn from and we don't want to get into it again. So we are going to be making better financial decisions. Hey, and as I promised you at the end of the video, I'll be giving you the card that I use. I got the Navy Federal Balance Transfer card. That worked very well for me. It gave a high amount that you could be able to transfer it to, and the processing time was extremely short, and I got things transferred over, and now my mind is much freer. And hey, what I'm going to be doing, I am going to be making as much payment as I can towards the card on a monthly basis. I've set up my auto payment so I do not forget and lose the 0% APR. But also, hey guys, it's time we stop stressing. If at the end of the period that I'm allowed the credit card, I'm still not finished with the payments, once I've done it responsibly, then I'm just going to be applying for another balance transfer card to transfer the balance to, so that I can just keep it moving until I have totally cleared my balance. Hey, it's what we have to do in this game called life. Now, as usual, my friends, if you have found any part of this content to be beneficial to you, even one thing, even half a thing, please like, comment, subscribe, share this video with someone that you think might benefit from it. And as usual, thank you for watching and see you in the next video.